Hello, all you coin-loving, coin-collecting, coin aficionados out there, and welcome again to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have for you a number of coins from the 2000s from Canada. Starting with this 2000 5-cent coin. They're all going to be 5-cent coins, and this is the year 2000, and you can see it has just that beautiful inlaid kind of portrait of the beaver, and it is the Kruger Gray portrait. As you can see, the KG over here on this side, GE Kruger Gray, and just if we look across the top, we see the maple leaf, then it says 5 cents and another maple leaf, then the beaver with his tail touching the water, and then down below we see Canada 2000. We see a beaded inner edge and then a somewhat raised rim. If we tip it over on its side, we see that it has a smooth edge, and on the front, and these coins are hard to get a good view of, but this is the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth, and it says here Elizabeth II, DG Regina, by the grace of God, Queen, and she is wearing her jewelry and the crown. And again, this one has the beaded inner rim also. So that's the 2000. And I'm going to keep it not far from here because we'll see that in 2001 we have the same beaver and the same 5 cents and the same Kruger Gray and the same maple leafs, but it says 2001 at the bottom. But when we flip it over, we see that this is a P year. So this is simply a different mint that made this particular one. And we can see way at the bottom. Let's see if we can get it set up so you can see that. That's a good view of that P. So in the year 2001, we have the P issue. And the P issue is if you look at that P, you'll see it's a relatively large P. And these are simply mint marks. So there's a P mint mark, a plain mint mark, and a W mint mark. And this is the P mint mark. And you can see, as I said, it's a large P. Again, it's Elizabeth II, DG Regina, by the grace of God, Queen. And she is again wearing the crown. This is the third portrait, and it is, I want to show you the difference between the two of these. So here we go. This is, I put a magnet over the top, and the 2000 is non-magnetic. But what's weird is they made the 2001, and they made it magnetic, so it sticks to the magnet. So it's just this weird kind of idea, like, why did they do that? And I don't know why they made the changes, but they actually changed it to nickel-plated steel in 2001 rather than the copper and nickel of the year 2000. So the year 2000 is non-magnetic because it's copper and nickel. The year 2001 is magnetic. So there's our first difference. Then we look at the year 2002, and many of you know it's going to come up with this one. Same beaver on the back. But in 2002, remember they did the anniversary issue, or the so-called jubilee or golden jubilee issue. So in 2002, it was the Queen's 50th year in power, or as monarch, and so they produced this particular coin. Again, we have a big P, but down here we have 1952 to 2002, and if we look on the back, we see there's no date on the back. So that's weird, right? So you don't notice it at first, but then when you get to it, you realize, hey, there's no date on the back of the 2002, so that's how you can determine the 2002 from the others if it's flipped upside down. Again, for the 2002, they made a lot of these 136 million. Essentially, very few of these are going to be worth much. Uh, this may be worth 10 or 20 cents US, but it's not going to be worth a lot just because so many were made. And essentially, if it's been in circulation like this one has and has a few scratches, maybe even less than that. It is still worth a nickel, however. 2003, we come in with a new one, and when we flip it over, we see, we have a new portrait of the Queen. So every year so far, from 2000 to 2003, we've had a different coin. We had essentially the 2000 non-magnetic, then the 2001 magnetic, then the 2002 was the golden jubilee, and then when we hit 2003, we see that we have a different queen on the front. This is the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, and this is, she is 77 years old, and this one, if we try it, we hear it, that it gets snapped right up against the magnet. That one, this one is magnetic, and we see at the bottom that there is a mint mark, and it's a rough kind of P down here, but the same reverse as the other ones, the beaver in the 2003. 2004, we flip it over, and same beaver, same everything. This is a much better portrait, but 2004, we again see the P, and I think, but I'm not sure, that, well, so I want to just show you the difference in the P's. So in 2002, look how huge that P is over here. And then we look at the 2004, and they've actually reduced the size of the letter P on the, let me see if I can find a way to get both of them. So now, if we change that light a little bit, we see that there's a P on the left and a P in the center, or to the right, and the 2002 has a huge P on it. The 2004 has this little tiny P for the mint mark there. 2005, guess what? No beaver. On the back of the 2005, they have the Canada, the V coin, and this is the old, of course, Roman numeral V for 5 cents, but it's also the V for victory, because this is the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II. So it says Canada V cents. And if we flip it to the front, we see on nowhere on this coin does it say 5 cents. Again, we have the fourth portrait of the Queen, and it is and this is again a P version, and it's a smaller P than the 2002. 2006 I skipped, and I'm going to skip right over to 2007. And in 2007, we went to, guess what? We went to the mint mark from the Royal Canadian Mint. So this coin changed again in 2007 to have a Royal Canadian Mint logo, they call it, or mint mark. So in 2007, we switched again, and let's blow that up so you can see that. That is the logo down here of the Royal Canadian Mint. And if we flip it over, we see the same portrait of the Queen. We see essentially the same thing on the back. We see the beaver and the 2007. We hit 2008, and we see same beaver on the back, 2008. And again, we see the Royal Canadian Mint logo. And then 2009, and we see the same beaver on the back, the RCM logo again. So for the years 2000 to 2009, we have about 6 different kinds of coins. We have magnetic and non-magnetic. We have big P, small p. We have year on the front for the 2002 and year on the back for all the rest. We have 2 different portraits of the Queen. We have the third portrait and the fourth portrait. And we have, I should at this point tell you that none of them are worth much money.